Hello and welcome to another episode of Beyond the Headline, the show where we talk about matters pertaining to India's internal security and also matters of global avenue which somehow are related to India. And as always, talking to me and joining me on the show is our senior correspondent Vicky Nanjapa. Vicky, welcome to Beyond the Headline.
Thank you, Akash.
So, Vicky, over the weekend, a huge development took place as far as the Punjab and Pakistan border is concerned. A rocket launcher attack took place at the Taran Taran police station, and after that, now there has been a huge, commotion as far as the border is concerned. And now the police has also found the rocket launcher device that was used in this attack. And so, first of all, Vicky, I just want to get your, insight about why these kind of attacks have actually amped up in the past 7 to let's say 10 to 12 months, because as far as the Punjab is concerned, and these kind of attacks on police establishments are concerned or government establishments are concerned, this is somewhere around fifth or the sixth such attack.
First of all, Akash, see what is happening there in Punjab is not new. Okay, it's been on the build-up for the past, say, 10 to 15 years. All right, so that is one part of it. And if you see suddenly in the past, 12 to 13 months, you're seeing one attack almost like this, which I would say fifth in 13 months. Okay, this kind of an attack. And prior to that, the number of drones coming in and the kind of explosives they were carrying, the kind of narcotics. One. Number one, I would say is that, it is not like there has been no intelligence. There was very specific intelligence that police establishments will be targeted. One, police establishments will be targeted. Two, I am very sure that the government has not taken it very seriously about it. That's one. So it is a very inexperienced dispensation out there, which I currently, if I look at it, it doesn't look like they're understanding what the gravity of the problem is. One, and thirdly, every investigation that has been done, I mean, you can call it a case of terror, no doubt, but it has always gone back to some local gangster, which brings me to the fourth point that this is clearly an outsourcing of terror by the Khalistan elements who are driven by the Pakistan's ISI. It's clearly, outsourced so that, one, the gangsters will do it for money. Plus, they have their own, issues with the cops because, these gangsters are mostly into narcotic smuggling. And then when the investigation happens, ISI gets a deniability factor there, saying, no, it was a local gang which took place. Similarly, in the case what happened with Indian Mujahideen, which was completely funded by Pakistan. But every time they said, no, it is a local, this one. This is what the whole thing, what is happening in Punjab.
Right, Vicky. And Vicky, now you said that, the possibility is that it's the ISI who is supplying these military-grade arms and ammunitions to the local gangsters, and they are actually carrying this whole, charade or this whole attack on the Indian soil. So first of all, if the local gangsters are involved in this, doesn't it becomes the duty of the state government? Because as far as law and order is concerned, law and order is a state issue, and the Aam Aadmi Party seems to be clueless in terms of what is happening in its own state. And maybe the CM is out celebrating MCD polls here in Delhi, the win of Aam Aadmi Party, and campaigning in Gujarat for the expansion of the party to make it a national party. But in his own state, which is a border state and which has always been a volatile state for India because of the Pakistan's influence and the Khalistani influence, so it seems that the state government is clueless about what is happening there.
I mean, the amount of effort they put into, get hold of Tejinder Bagga, basically. I mean, I don't see that kind of effort being put in so much in a border state like this. That is one. You have to be very, very, very careful out there because, one thing is that, these are one part are attacks. The other thing is narcotic smuggling. The biggest, one of the biggest problems out there that is of narcotic smuggling. Now they're dropping in these arms out here, and most of the arms are meant to be transported to Jammu and Kashmir, because that border is very, very tight at the moment. It's not as easy as what it used to be many years back. So at that time, this is not, you cannot look at these as isolated incidents and, all the time saying that, we'll investigate it and things. You have to understand that there is a kind of a sentiment of that Khalistan movement which these people are trying to put back there in Punjab. That is one thing. Round the clock, those guys are working from, places like UK, Canada, etc. That is one. Or Germany for that matter. Just recently, we had two extraditions. One is, of course, Happy Malaysia. His name was Happy Malaysia. And the other one was Bikramjit Singh. Bikramjit Singh. One was an attack in the Taran Taran, this one, bomb blast case, the earlier one. The other one was an attack on a mastermind in the attack on the Ludhiana. So on one side, I see that, on the central front, at least the NIA has been very, very proactive in, working the Interpol and getting all these people, like maybe not the kind of success we got when it comes to Canada, but definitely, with Malaysia and Australia, where these two people were extradited and arrested upon arrival. I mean, we surely have some success, and we should feel happy that those governments have started identifying that there is a problem. Unlike UK or Canada, who refuse to sometimes don't acknowledge it at all and allow referendums to happen. So that's another thing. Coming back to that, there was one incident which happened at Victoria also, recently, where suddenly people standing there with Khalistan flags and swords and those kind of things. I'm 100% sure that the Australian government will not let it go up. I mean, and not make it so bad like how it is in Canada or something like that. Now, again, coming back to what the Punjab government should be doing is that when it is very clearly that these people are using these local gangsters, I think the police have to be 10 times on their toes, because internationally the central agencies can handle it. One. So that brings me to that NIA raid which happened, first 60 places, then 50, then 40 places, they were raids in this terror gangster network. And in everything it was found that it is being masterminded from abroad. So in case you want to solve a law and order problem, when the central agencies are trying to work with you and, giving you inputs and all that, I think you need to be more serious about, your law and order problem, because this can just spiral out of control if there is an experienced kind of government in that state.
Right, Vicky, and of course, in terms of these local gangsters, and the problem is that we say that they're local gangsters, but in case of Sidhu Moosewala, we have seen that all of this was orchestrated by Lawrence Bishnoi, who is sitting in Canada, and his cronies are running amok there in Punjab, and they hire these youngsters maybe from the neighboring states, Himachal or other places, and then they just come in the state, they do these tasks, and then they run away. And we have seen, because like if we talk in terms of the bomb blast that took place in the court premises also, so it was said that it was to target one of these gangsters who was present in the court and was there for his hearing. And of course, so how could you deal with such kind of a such kind of a vast network that somebody in Pakistan connects with somebody in Canada, who then connects somebody here in India, which is not part of Punjab, and then goes to carry out these attacks and then dispose of all these materials and everything, as we have seen in the case of Sidhu Moosewala also.
Yeah, that's right. See, first of all, when going back to that court blast, the thing is, when these a terror attack is a terror attack. That is one thing. Don't start, immediately start saying, he had some personal enmity with the court and that's why he did it. That is one thing. You just look at, you need to go back and look at the funding, all those kind of things. Okay, that is one. So anything that happens there in Punjab, you need to look at it in a larger picture always. Maybe, he was not, on the roles of the Khalistan elements, and he went and carried out the blast out there in the court premises, because there was a case which was going on against him. You look at the gangster nexus also. There are people sitting in Tihar jail who are able to manipulate out here. That is one. Which means clearly somewhere your state intel is failing. One, you don't have. You know for a fact that in the case of Sidhu Moosewala, there was a threat and you have withdrawn as security. So these are all very, very immature acts which are there. And I think the Aam Aadmi Party government should really very, very seriously start looking at their strategy, especially when it comes to law and order. Because governing a bordering state is not exactly easy at all. It is not easy at all. It's very difficult. There are a lot of elements that are at play. And when you talk about gangsters hiring these youngsters from here and there, they'll do it at what, $1,000, $2,000, or somebody there will do it in exchange for one snort of cocaine or something like that. So it is a problem of plenty. First, accept that there is a drug problem there. Then accept that it is a border state, and have more objective intelligence and work more closely with the center. Because if you are not going to work closely with the center, then you're clearly not going to be able to handle that problem. Like Jammu Kashmir, for that matter, and the government was a PDP or something like that, with the number of attacks, the kind of stone pelting which used to happen and things like that. Today we have everything under control, thanks to Article 370 gone. And that is very, very important that especially when it comes to a border state, the center and state have to very much be on the same page.
Vicky, and another thing, the role of the central agencies over here, because like Taran Taran is right there on the borders with Pakistan. So the role of the BSF also, comes into place. How could these kind of things get past the BSF? And of course, I understand that drone problem is a very big problem now from Pakistan. As you said that the choke points have been the points have been absolutely choked when it comes to Jammu and Kashmir. The army and the BSF are doing the best that there can't be no infiltration in terms of people or money or arms and ammunitions or anything like that. So the next best thing is the Punjab border, where you can have these drones fly in. We have seen in the past also that a couple of days back there was this huge cache that was caught by the local police there in Punjab, where there were like few IEDs, few Chinese-made pistols, 5 lakh rupees in cash that was recovered from a drone. So how does now the security agencies, the central security agencies, the BSF, the RAW, the IB, and all those kind of people, how is their role becomes more important when it comes to situations like these? And because like in 13 months we have seen such 5 attacks, out of which the Jalandhar blast, the Court blast was one of the biggest ones.
About the drone, yes, I thought that we were a little slow in reacting to that. We actually kind of underestimated the power of that drone actually. But today, despite the sightings going up, we've been able to actually start driving those drones back or shooting them down, either one of the two. Yes, I get it that the thing is, there was one which happened in the Indian Air Force building in Jammu Kashmir. Also, there was a drone incident that happened. It's kind of gone down now because as I said, we were a little slow to react to that. That is one. So I think then the drone policy came out. The kind of anti-drone guns and anti-drone mechanisms, all that we have put in place now. So up to that, it is fine. That is no problem. Why I say close coordination is also one thing. If there is a gangster who's planning something within the state, and then that is now for the state police to also look into. That is one, because I don't think the central agency can go so deep into one place. We can look at the bigger picture and things like that, the center, but state has got a much bigger role to do, much bigger role to do. How have the incidents of stone pelting just kind of vanished in Jammu Kashmir? That is one, because you have two agencies which are on the same page. And one thing is that if the state police is failing, then this problem is immense. The reason why there has been such good a strike rate by our Indian Army and the Kashmir police when it comes to terrorists, when you say that 130 gun down, 180 gun down and things, because the intelligence is extremely specific. That is one. It's very specific. And who can give such specific intelligence? It is the local police. Constable knows where he's sitting, everything is there. And immense credit to the Jammu Kashmir police also for that matter. The thing is, they are so pinpoint. You give wrong information and you're putting your forces at risk at the end of it. And that is why local police is extremely important.
Correct, Vicky. So I think coming down to Punjab, so in terms of everything boils down to the Aam Aadmi Party government who is there in the state, and I think the CM needs to be hands-on in terms of analyzing such kind of situations that are happening in his own state.
Correct. Yeah, that is true. I mean, I think seriously, even this chief minister, then the home ministry, they all become very, very important portfolios. They have to really relook into this, because these are, see, they may have not caused any much damage or loss of lives, but the thing is, it's very embarrassing. That is one, because they're hitting your intel office, they're hitting your. I mean, that actually there is one more thing. If you look at it, Akash, there is also one more pattern behind hitting the intel office or hitting the this one. What is that? Police sector. So these are supposed to be highly secure locations. That is one. So if you're going to beat down the police, the local police, then what sort of a this one message does it send across to the people? Police are not safe. How safe are we? And that's why the Aam Aadmi Party needs to take more responsibility and do a better job of it.
Correct. Very true, Vicky. Well, on that note, thank you, Vicky, for joining me on Beyond the Headlines and once again sharing your insight about what is happening there across the country. And of course, we will be joining once again on a very new topic. But thank you once again, Vicky, for joining me on Beyond the Headlines.
Thanks, Akash. Thank you so much. Thank you.